Hello, everyone. Welcome to the August 13th episode of Stacking the Box. Iain MacMillan here, Sterling Holmes. We are officially 1 week into the NFL preseason, just a few weeks away from opening day of the 2025 NFL season. Today's show, we're going to react to some news that happened in week one of the preseason, some other news around the league. And then we are going to finish off the show by doing something that we did last year. We're going to do, Sterling, an Offensive Player of the Year draft, where we are going to go back and forth and draft players who we think will win Offensive Player of the Year. We'll see which one of us can correctly draft the guy who will eventually win the award. Of course, last year was Saquon Barkley. Who drafted Saquon Barkley in last year's Offensive Player of the Year draft? I don't remember. Should have went back and looked. I didn't. But Sterling, what's up?
Yeah, man. I'm stoked. I'm excited. I like these little drafts we do. It always gets me excited for the upcoming season. I'm excited that preseason is here. I'm excited that teams are playing their starters more, which we'll get into in just a little bit during the show. I'm excited football is back. There was a little crisp tinge in the air in Kansas City about a week ago when football came back. It's back to being hot now. But even the weather knew football is just around the corner.
Yeah, football is officially back, and let's start with that. Let's start with week one of the preseason. We'll start with what was probably the story of the opening week of preseason action, and that is Shedeur Sanders of the Cleveland Browns, who, yes, the Browns quarterback room is crowded, but also very injured. So Shedeur Sanders, who, of course, was the story of the draft, a lot of people projected him to be potentially a top 10 pick. Almost everyone projected him to be a first-round pick. He ended up being a fifth-round pick to the Browns, who had already had a rookie quarterback in Dylan Gabriel. Shedeur Sanders got the start and played the majority of the snaps for the Browns before Tyler Huntley got put in the game and had a pretty solid outing. 14 of 23, 138 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. The NFL world kind of overreacted to this performance, though. Am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong, but I think it was a situation where it was some folks wanting to do the "I told you so," which
and
I feel like
I told you so quick,
which is very, very early. For me, I think I've been on record saying I was a Shedeur supporter in the regards that I think he was maybe even the best quarterback. I don't think it was a great quarterback class, right? So don't get it twisted. I'm not saying Cam Ward I think is going to be a stud, okay? So. But the whole point I was making was I think Shedeur has the highest floor maybe of any quarterback that was coming out of college, because I do think he's got a good arm. I do think he's a decent processor. I do think that he's not necessarily mobile, but I think he's mobile enough to move around in the pocket. He's a guy who never had a great offensive line, so if he has pressure on him, he's a guy who will stick in there, stay in there, and take the hit, which we saw a lot of at Colorado, so you respect him for that. I think it's slightly obnoxious, the crews that follow him and the spectacle that it all is. It's like, you're also a rookie, man. Like, come on. I thought that would be dialed back, but clearly that's not going to be the case. Yeah, it's a preseason game, and he looked good. I expected him to look good in a preseason game. Maybe not quite this good, but it wasn't like he was 15 of 15 for 250 and 3 touchdowns and everything was just dime after dime. He looked good against a team in the preseason. This is what I thought he would do. So
Sorry, finish.
I guess my final thought is I don't think anyone should take a victory lap off it, but I do think if you were almost hoping he would fail, I think you were hoping that he would fail not from a football reason.
Sure. I would say he took the first step of about 10 steps to where people can say, I told you so. It's crazy the amount of people I woke up the morning after the game victory lapping all over social media because Shedeur Sanders went 14 for 23, 2 touchdowns, 138 yards in a preseason game against the Panthers. I do think the Panthers are playing most of their starters, especially early in the game. So I saw everyone saying it's against second, third stringers. I don't think that's necessarily true. But still, even if it was the starters, we're talking about the Panthers, who arguably have the worst defense in the entire league. Victory lapping in a preseason game. Like, do you guys not remember football? Like, do you not remember? I remember the Raiders went undefeated in the preseason one year and then won, I think, one game in the regular season. Like, this happens every single year. Like, we should know by now, if you know ball, to not put any stock into the preseason, or at least very little stock, or at least you shouldn't be victory lapping after one single preseason game. Not even a full preseason, just one single preseason game. This is the first step, though, in his defense. He could have, if he looked bad, it would have been bad. He looked solid. That's a solid stat line. He didn't turn the ball over. That's the first step. The problem is there are about 9 more steps before people should be victory lapping people who were Shedeur Sanders defenders.
Yeah, it's such a divisive situation where somehow nuance always gets thrown out when talking about Shedeur, and I just don't get it. I think it's over the top. I think that him being a 5th rounder was ridiculous, but I also understand that if you don't think he's a franchise starting caliber quarterback, why you're not going to spend a draft pick on him with the spectacle that semi follows him. So it's something that needs nuance, and end of the day, he's a guy who I always said had a high floor, and I think you saw that in this preseason game. But yeah, you're right, man. Victory lapping seems ridiculous at this point.
I still think he was not worthy of a first-round pick, but I also think he's much better than a 5th-round quarterback.
Sure.
But I think when you do have all that baggage that comes with you, if you're not a first-round talent, then that's what's going to cause you to fall to the 5th round.
Oh, 100%. It happens with every quarterback who, and there's always names like Johnny Manziel. I mean, if Johnny Manziel, if he would have been he ended up getting drafted where he's drafted, but part
he was
of the
still first round. But if he didn't have that extra baggage, he would have been top 10, top 5.
Yeah, and we know now, obviously, he probably wasn't deserving of that. But at the time, you didn't know,
and he had a lot more baggage than Shedeur.
Oh, a lot more.
Yeah. That was probably the most dominant headline of the first week of the preseason. Some other strong performances. Just want to shout out some other names. A lot of people were saying, yeah, you talk big about Shedeur Sanders. You're not bringing up Tanner McKee and his 252 passing yards. I saw a list someone put out about how many teams would rather have Tanner McKee as their starting quarterback over their current starting quarterback, and it was the first thing this season that has made me angry. So to me, that was when football is back. When someone tweets out a list, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, what team?
The Falcons would rather have Tanner McKee than Michael Penix. Like, what are we talking about?
Yeah, that's just absurd. And I like to rip on the Falcons as much as anyone, and that's even absurd.
Give me your breakdown of the Chiefs. Obviously, you follow these preseason games pretty closely, being a Kansas City radio guy. I don't have anything to say about the Falcons. They didn't even play most of their starters, so I have no inside info about the Falcons, but the Chiefs did play some of their starters. Give me just your overall breakdown of the Chiefs, who did lose to the Cardinals.
Yeah. I was laughing. I go, you can make a headline, and I know there's probably one out there somewhere that goes, poor QB play sinks Kansas City as Chiefs fall to Cardinals. Because Bailey Zappi was atrocious in this game, right? So you could even say that. Patrick played 3 snaps, 1 handoff, 1 pass interference, and then 1 yard, 1 touchdown. I think Josh Simmons answered the question at left tackle in the 11 snaps-ish that he played in this one. I think there's some wide receiver shakeup that's going to happen that I think some folks maybe did not expect here in KC, but we're talking back end of the wide receiver rotation. If you're a New England fan, Tyquan Thornton, former 2nd rounder from New England, looks like he's probably going to make the team, which is probably a surprise to a lot of Patriots fans, but he's been looking really, really good. Isaiah Pacheco and 1 carry looked like his burst was back compared to when he came back early last year, and it was a major, major struggle. Defensively, some of the young guys flashed. Some looked unspectacular, especially the defensive line. FAU, first-round draft pick from a couple years ago, looks like he's falling farther and farther down the depth chart, which is not ideal if you were a guy who bought stock in FAU. But overall, yeah, I don't take too much away. Gardner Minshew looked good as the backup for KC, so that's nice that at least you have a backup quarterback that you can trust. But I don't take a lot away from that game because there's a lot of moving parts and pieces. Obviously, any preseason game you should take with a grain of salt.
Yeah. More
than a grain, a box of salt.
Yeah, a half-filled salt shaker, maybe. Starters across the league, I know we talked about it last week, but more starters, we saw this across the league, kind of a league-wide trend. The biggest one, and we mentioned this last week, was going to be the Bengals, who historically had not played their starters in the preseason and then got off to a slow start in the regular season. They played their starters, actually quite a bit more than some of the other teams as well. Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, looking good. 9 for 10, 123 yards, 2 touchdowns for Burrow. Jamar Chase, 4 catches, 77 yards and touchdown. Maybe it's a good thing the Bengals are playing their starters.
Yeah, but I'm not really worried about the offense. It's good, though. I mean, it's
allowed Tanner McKee to throw 20 of 25 for 252.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, end of the day, that Bengals defense is atrocious. I don't understand Cincinnati. I told you, I feel for their fans, the ones that are rational, because the Chiefs laid the game plan for them. The Bills are trying to follow it. What do the Bills do? We have an elite quarterback. What can that mean? That means they can elevate the receivers so we can spend money on the offensive line and the defense. All these Bengals fans complaining about well, of course the defense is atrocious and the offensive line. Yeah, no bleep, because they're paying Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. That's on the GM. That's also on Joe Burrow to an extent. At some point, he needs to be like, hey, I'm good enough. I can elevate Andre Yosevach, right? I can elevate these guys. You spend another high-round draft pick on Jermaine Burton. If he's good enough, he can elevate his wide receivers. So he can spend money on the offensive line and the defense. But clearly, that's not the way they're going. I do think there's a situation where when you are a GM who has not won anything in the NFL, they went to a Super Bowl, but they've also missed the playoffs a couple times now. So when you miss the playoffs and you have high expectations, GMs get under a lot of fire. So what do? You play it safe as a GM because you do not want to get canned. What is easier, to try and run it back, or trying to move on from T. Higgins and risk the entire thing falling apart? The offense taking a step back and the defense not getting better. Again, Brett Veach, what did they do? They moved on from Tyreek Hill. They moved on from him. This is nothing new. In 2018 or 19, when they lost to the Patriots, the Chiefs did, when it was all offense, they said, we have to retool this thing. This is not sustainable. Yet the Bengals kept trying the same damn thing. The Bills have tried to adjust and evolve, and it's why I think the Bills are so much more advanced than Cincinnati at this point. Cincinnati, sorry, I don't think you're very good. Buffalo, I think you're great right now because they did the right thing and adjusted.
Anything else for week 1 of the preseason that you want to touch on? Daniel Jones did not look good in his first start because I know the Colts have a quarterback battle between Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson. Daniel Jones, I believe, he played the majority of snaps against the Ravens, and I think Anthony Richardson might play the majority of snaps in the second week, but Daniel Jones went 10 for 21, 144 yards.
Yeah, I mean, he's just not good. That might be your Tanner McKee conversation. That might be the Tanner McKee.
Yeah.
I think they might like Tanner McKee, actually.
They should trade for Kirk Cousins. First round pick.
The Falcons eat that draft pick. I mean, eat that contract.
No. They can take the whole thing and give us the first round pick.
Where do you land on that? When I talk about earlier, when I say that Cincinnati's doing it the wrong way, and part of it's because I think that the GM's scared to lose his job, while the Bills have evolved, adjusted. Do you agree or disagree? Because to me, I think that's two franchises that are going in totally different directions, and a lot of it's based on them trusting their quarterback and saying Josh Allen can elevate receivers. He cannot elevate the defense.
I don't know. I largely agree with you, I guess. I don't know. I don't really know if I have a strong opinion.
It's a bummer. I would have fun, yeah. Because I do. Because I guess I would be very irritated. Now it's easier now because the Chiefs have won Super Bowls. They've won plural, one with Tyreek, but two without him. So it made it easier to move on from Tyreek, right? Because they already had a Lombardi in their back pocket. But there was a lot of frustration and confusion in Kansas City for moving on. But sometimes you have to, what looks like a step back, to take a step forward so you can create a complete team.
Matthew McConaughey.
Right? No, but it's true, though. Like, I'm not saying move on from Jamar and T. You can have one if you want to, but both seems like overkill when there's only one football and you can have a more complete team defensively. You keep complaining about how the defense gives up so many points. Well, congratulations, because you spent all your money on offense. It's not a hard concept to have.
Yeah, but maybe this will work too. I mean, the Bengals were, a few points away from winning a Super Bowl.
How many years ago?
3 now? 3 years ago or 4 years ago?
4.
Yeah. Joe Burrow was in hurt a couple years ago.
No, but that's kind of my point is you got close one time, and so it just feels like they're running it back because they are scared to try and do something different.
Yeah.
The Bills got close multiple times, and they've tried to switch it up.
But the Bengals are poorly run. We know this. It's not breaking news. They're a poorly run organization.
Sure. I don't know. I guess that's where I'm at. I feel bad for some Bengals fans.
But the Bills don't have anything to show for it either.
No.
So you can see the Bills are doing it the right way, but it's still not working.
Could you not at least agree they're in a much more sustainable spot than Cincinnati is? I don't think it's close. They at least make the playoffs every single year.
Yeah. They're also in a much easier division, but yeah. I would say sustainable. Yeah, that's fair. Yep.
I think the Ravens are too, by the way.
Yes. Talk about Bill. I mean, it's another example of a team building up their defense and letting just Lamar do what. I mean, they also went and got Derrick Henry, though.
Sure. I'm not saying you can't have any offensive players, but they also found a spot that was contractually down, depressed market in the running back room. They're paying him $15 million a year?
Yeah.
I mean, how much are they paying for for Joe Burrow and T. Higgins and Jamar Chase? Now, I know this year the cap hits might be down because it's the first year of contract extensions. I get it. I'm just saying in an average AAV talking point, that's a huge difference monetarily.
Yeah. Speaking about the Bills and speaking about running backs, Bills signed James Cook to a 4-year, $48 million contract extension. This was a hold-in for James Cook, who I believe has been at training camp. Maybe he missed a few practices, but he is now signed.
I like it for Buffalo. The intriguing part is James Cook, as good as he's been, he hasn't been utilized a ton. Yeah. Like, if you look at the snap count share, it's like 50%, 47%, a lot of Ty Johnson. It's been Ray Cook at times as well. I do wonder if that shifts, but it's also been keeping him fresh and effective. Maybe they'll see a uptick in the playoffs. Maybe it's why they were comfortable giving him the contract that they did, because he doesn't have as much wear and tear on him. He's a great pass catcher. James Cook is a big part of that offense, because when you run those RPOs and those, options with Josh Allen and James Cook, it makes it very difficult for defenses to decide what to do. James Cook is a great, great player, even in a league where bell cows are becoming few and far between. He's not one, but he's getting paid close to that market. I still think he deserves it.
Yeah, Ray Davis. Earlier you said Ray Cook, but I know you meant Ray Davis.
Sorry, Ray Davis.
The other guy getting carries. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think he's an extremely effective back. If you look like his yards per carry, they're high fours. I would like to see them utilize James Cook a little bit more this season, now that they're paying him some money. 4.9 yards per carry last year. Pretty good.
Damn good.
16 touchdowns. Chargers lost the worst news of the week, probably. Chargers lost Rashawn Slater for the season. Big blow for the Chargers. Two of the better tackles in the league between him and Joe Alt, and now one goes down. How much does that change your evaluation of the Chargers and their ability to compete and make the playoffs this season?
Yeah, that's a big, big blow. I mean, my thoughts on the offensive line. I think it's the most underrated part of football that at least the average fan maybe does not take into consideration because it's not fantasy football. But going from a top 5 left tackle, I know Joe Alt's going to move to the left side and he's going to be damn good over there. I have no questions about that. But you went from having the best or top 3, top 2 tackle tandem in the entire NFL to now you have Trey Pipkins, who's graded as one of the worst. Yeah. That's a huge drop off. And what Harbaugh likes to do and what they were trying to do this season in particular, bring back the run game, bring back some extra play action, and you got to have tackles that can hold up. They tried to revamp to an extent the interior. We'll see if that looks any better, but now it makes it a lot more difficult when your right side, again, I'm assuming Joe Alt moves to the left, looks like it's going to be a sieve. So I feel for Chargers fans yet again. They've not had the best health luck. And quite frankly, maybe had the worst injury luck in any team in the NFL over the past, 10 years? I mean, it's ridiculous.
The Ravens have had really bad injury luck.
Sure, but I think the Chargers have perpetuated.
There goes Sterling. Yeah, big blow to the Chargers. I assume it's Sterling that shut off and he's back.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's become a weekly occurrence. Sterling.
It's like a 3-second
Is it internet?
Kickout.
Is it Kansas City internet? Is it your basement setup? What's going on here?
I have no idea. It's like a 3-second kickoff every single time. Yeah. It's very frustrating. It only happens, I think, during this show. So it's neat. It's fun.
Maybe it is every single time at 5:22 Eastern. Maybe we should keep an eye on that next week.
If it's the same time, that'd be crazy, actually.
Yeah, I know a few Chargers fans. I'm friends with a few Chargers fans, and they basically say the season's over. They say like the floor, the ceiling to them was like maybe a deep playoff run. The ceiling to them is sneak into a wild card spot at best.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Yeah.
I like the Chargers. I feel like the Chargers are the Falcons of the AFC. So this hurts me.
I really feel for Justin Herbert, a guy who has been banged up a ton and plays through it. That guy has played through so much injury.
Mm-hmm.
And now his offensive line just got worse.
Yep.
And now he's going to get hit a lot more. I feel for Justin Herbert to an extent. When you're making that much money, I understand. I'm not going to feel that bad. But from a playing perspective, I do.
Yeah. I'd like to read this headline to you from NFL.com and just get your thoughts. Chiefs tight end Travis Kelce believes production might have slipped with, quote, more focus on opportunities as entertainer. And he went on to say, quote, I think it might have slipped up a little bit because I did have a little bit more focus in trying to set myself up, end quote. Continued quote, actually. And opportunities came up where I was excited to venture into a new world of acting and being an entertainer. I don't say this as I shouldn't have done it. I'm just saying that my work ethic is such that I have so much pride in how I do things that I never want the product to tail off. And I feel like these 2 past years haven't been to my standard. Thoughts?
Yeah, he's talked about it. He went back to Miami this year to, I think it was South Florida. Maybe it was Miami. And got back with his old trainer. And he's lost a ton of weight. He looks a lot better. He looks quicker. They had a whole situation when they dove down into like the analytics and the science, because how he runs routes is a science. It's really interesting. They're basically saying he wants to be between 12 and 16 miles per hour on these route runs because it keeps him quick enough while also being shifty enough. And he felt like he wasn't able to do that last year. Even at times, maybe he was running 18 miles an hour, but he had no shiftiness left in him because just of how he was working out, and he got away from what made him Travis Kelce. So I firmly expect Travis Kelce to have a really nice year this year. I'm not saying he goes for 1,200 yards, but I think you're going to see a lot more efficient Travis Kelce this season. It looks really good, man. Like, this is not me trying to be a Chiefs guy on you, but he looks, body speaking wise, a lot different. He looks more like the previous versions of Travis Kelce than the last 2 seasons Travis Kelce.
Yeah, I've never heard a player come to training camp and say they're the best in the best shape they've ever been.
No, I'm saying look at what he's done, and he's shown what he's done as far as his actual workouts. It's not like he's lying to you saying, yeah, I want to do this, and this. No, sure. He went back to what he was doing that made him so great early on in his career that he stopped doing.
He's also said that all these things have been distractions, and now we're less than a month from the season, and he's still doing his podcast, and he's releasing an episode with his girlfriend tonight, which is going to be like the most watched podcast of all time.
So that, he can't
during training camp, that doesn't seem
training
like
camp's over, by the way.
It doesn't seem like he should be focusing on that during the preseason.
Training camp's over. What are you talking about?
Training camp's over, so it's the regular season now?
Training camp is legitimately over for Kansas City, yes.
Right. Okay, preseason then is what I should have said. I don't think that
which he's not playing probably in game 2. So yeah, that's a huge.
I don't think he should be coming out and
yeah.
saying he has had distractions in the past couple of years. This year he's not going to have distractions, and now he's still doing his podcast.
He didn't say he's going to have distractions. He said he's
releasing a big episode with his girlfriend tonight. A
podcast is the total same thing as going out and doing something ridiculous.
I think you should be watching film. I think you should be working out. I think you should be watching tape, getting ready for the Chargers on Friday night of the opening week.
Yeah, man, I'm sure an hour-long podcast is going to keep him from watching film. That's a great take.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure no Falcons have ever done a podcast.
I don't think there's a member on the Falcons who have their own podcast that they record on a weekly basis or whatever it is.
No one listens to it.
I'm just trying to say I'm concerned. I'm a Chiefs guy. I want the Chiefs to do well this year. Kelce hasn't been himself the past couple of seasons. I just want the best version of Travis Kelce we can get. And all I'm saying is I don't know if recording a podcast with Taylor Swift less than a month out from opening kickoff is the best thing for him to be doing right now.
That's literally just him recording a podcast with his significant other. That's like me recording with my wife.
Okay. Oh yeah, sure.
Same thing. You and your wife. It's the same thing. You record a podcast with your wife. You say, hey, you want to hop on a podcast for an hour? Sure. Ask your wife that. She'll say, yeah.
Yeah, same thing. I want to bring up Sterling. Did you see this? I didn't put this in the show notes here, but did you see this thing released by The Athletic, which is quarterback tiers, and it has all the quarterbacks ranked, and it is a poll done by 6 GMs, 6 assistant GMs, 6 former GMs, 5 executives, 8 head coaches, 19 other coaches, and including 15 coordinators. So it's a 50-person panel of people who work or have worked in the NFL, and they ranked the top 34 quarterbacks in the NFL this season. Did you see this list?
Yes, I did, and it is fairly absurd. I'm convinced that a lot of GMs and these people, or whoever they asked, we always say, like, they know more than us because they do this for their living.
I don't think that's true.
Yeah, I'm convinced that some of them are just have no idea what they're looking at.
It's a theory I've held the past couple of years, and the more I see, the more I think it's being proven correct. And it does make sense because no matter what job you've had, Sterling, I'm sure that, no matter what company you've worked for, there have been people who are either in that industry or even in your company that you're like, you're an idiot. Like, there's idiots in every single line of work is what I'm trying to say. Why would NFL executives not have idiots working for them? Why would there not be idiotic GMs? And a list like this shows me there are idiots that are executives in the NFL.
I mean,
because I just thought like forever that they were like, you have to be a genius to be an executive in the NFL. I don't think that's true.
I mean, first and foremost, that's cool if you want to have 2 players tied at 1. The fact that Joe Burrow blows my mind. Patrick and Josh Allen, honestly, I would at least entertain it. I think there could be some merit for talent alone.
Well, based off last year's results too.
Okay, the guy that won MVP?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, like Josh Allen up there would make sense. I don't argue that.
Right.
Matt Stafford being in tier 1. If you think Matt Stafford's in the same tier as Patrick, Josh, Joe, and Lamar,
crazy.
That's
the craziest thing on this list.
I think Jalen Hurts is too low.
Yeah.
And again, I'm not trying to, me, I like ripping on the Eagles as much as the next guy, but do we just not reward winning anymore? Like, does winning not matter?
It's counterintuitive because Patrick Mahomes is tied for first, which, I'm not going to argue against that too much, but a big reason why you put him at number 1 because he wins. Because last year, and I think you can admit that statistically, or even last year was not Patrick Mahomes' best season in the NFL.
It was his worst year in the NFL by far. It wasn't even close.
So, but you have him first because he wins, fair enough. But then you have Jalen Hurts T9, and he's the defending Super Bowl champion. So, that's counter. If you're gonna put Mahomes at 1, Jalen Hurts has to be up there. You just beat Mahomes.
I don't understand where we've gone as a society where it went from ring, that's all that matters, to all of a sudden now it's what if he would have done this, or if this guy would have been here, or if this would have happened here. Like, right. I kept hearing, well, how many quarterbacks would have won the Super Bowl last year if Jalen Hurts was on that team? And I go, okay, that's fine. Fair to an extent, by the way, because, I mean, I think the tush push was a huge reason why, and how he played was a big reason why as well. Does anyone remember the first Super Bowl that they lost in and how good he was? He made one mistake. Yeah. He made one mistake. The fumble. Like, I'm sitting here like, am I taking crazy pills that I'm defending Philly and Jalen Hurts?
Right.
Like, he was incredible that first Super Bowl that they lost.
Winning is the only thing that matters, but then when you win, it's because you're on a good team.
Yes.
So the only way you can be a good quarterback is if you win surrounded by the worst players in the NFL.
Well, like, it's the same thing every year where it's, you can do that for your first couple years, and then once you start winning consistently, well, now that means your team's too good. Not because you elevate your team, but because now your team's somehow too good. It can't have anything possibly to do with you. It can't be the fact that, even Tom Brady came out and was talking about alluding to Joe Burrow. I don't know if you heard that conversation that he came out and was talking about how basically goes, Patrick's the closest player to me. He elevates everyone on that team.
Obviously.
He gets the best of it. I mean, Tom Brady was talking about it, and he goes, I don't want to name names, but there's a guy who threw 40 touchdowns last year and they missed the playoffs, or something along those lines with Joe Burrow. And he was almost blaming Joe Burrow for, I don't know whether it was lack of focus, but it was a very interesting conversation that he had. And I do think there's a situation where Mahomes and Allen and Lamar and Jalen Hurts, they make the winning play. Jalen Hurts makes winning plays. It's not because he throws for 400 yards, but when it's 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1, what happens? They pick it up. They don't try and throw a 30-yard bomb downfield. How many times did I see last year Joe Burrow on 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, 4th and 3 throw a deep ball to Jermaine Burton or Yosavash or someone like that? Pick up the first down. Live to fight another down. Like, I get, oh no, that hurts your yards per attempt. It's like, at some point, and I like analytics, and I like being a nerd, but at times, reel it back in. Use your eyes. What happens in clutch moments? Jalen Hurts makes big-time plays. He does. To me, he's better than the 9th or tied for 9th best quarterback in the NFL.
This also goes back to, though, my issue with these kinds of debates and rankings is I think there's a difference between being a great quarterback and being there's a difference between greatness and, like, best. Because there is a greatness factor that guys like Mahomes have, Brady has, you could say Jalen Hurts has it. But then there are skilled players who might not have that greatness factor. Peyton Manning, I think, might be the most skilled quarterback of all time, but he didn't quite have that greatness factor because he didn't show up all the time in big moments. Tom Brady did. Tom Brady wasn't the most skilled quarterback of all time, but he was the greatest.
Rodgers,
so it's almost two different rankings, because if you actually put it by the best quarterback, I don't know if I put Mahomes number 1, but he's the greatest quarterback right now.
Sure. I get what you're saying as far as like talent only, talent exclusively.
Talent and skill.
Yeah, like Justin Herbert's way better on the talent level than he is on the greatness. Yes.
Correct. Perfect example. Yes. So these rankings, how much do you kind of balance those two?
I don't know. I value winning now at this point. I do. I think we've gotten too far away as a society. Like, use your eyes. I'm not saying that by those metrics that Trent Dilfer is better than Dan Marino. I'm not saying that, but I am saying that if it's a close battle or a close discussion between guys, I'm going to go, especially at quarterback.
Sure.
At quarterback, who wins? Yeah, defensive end or a cornerback or a wide receiver, sure, different. At quarterback, that makes a big difference to me.
Now, to play devil's advocate, though, the quarterback has nothing to do with defense. And of those best quarterbacks, Joe Burrow had by far the worst defense last year.
The point I always make is, and you always hate it, what happened when Mahomes had the worst defense in the NFL? What happened?
He's never had the worst defense in the NFL. What year
did he have
2018. All right.
When Bob Sutton was there, they literally fired him after the AFC Championship game. I'm not kidding you. They lost. Ian, the Chiefs lost when they put up 50 points in a game. Are you serious?
What happened in 2018? Did they win the Super Bowl that year?
No, that was when they lost to the Patriots in the AFC Championship game.
Gotcha. Kansas City gave up 26.2 points per game that year.
Are you looking at the 2018 season or the 2017
season?
Season.
Yeah. They gave up 20, which was, it was 24th in the NFL. Bottom 10.
Was that 20? Look up 2019 too, just to be sure. The point I'm making is the Chiefs.
2019 they were way better. They were top 10.
Okay, so then 18 was that's when they fired Sutton and got Spagnuolo.
Yeah, so they gave up 26.2.
Ian, the Chiefs lost a game when they scored 50 points in a game. They scored 50 and lost.
Yeah, so actually pretty similar last year's. But in terms of just points against, I'm not going to sit here and look through all the numbers, but in terms of points against, last year's Bengals very similar to the 2018 Chiefs.
That's kind of my point. What's the difference? One missed the playoffs and one went to the AFC Championship game.
Yeah, I would say the biggest knock against Joe Burrow is the slow starts to the seasons. He always turns it on when it's too little too late. I know we got to get to this Offensive Player of the Year draft. I also want to point out these execs and GMs had the 2025 version of Aaron Rodgers as the 16th best quarterback in the NFL. What are you talking about? Crazy.
It's absurd.
All right, let's do the Offensive Player of the Year draft. Do you want to pick first or second? We're going to go snake. We're going to go back and forth. We're going to pick 5 players each. Whoever correctly gets the player when the awards are announced at the end of the season wins. Wins nothing. Wins bragging rights, I guess. I think last year I picked Saquon, but I'm not positive. Do you want to go first or second?
No, you go first. I'll allow you to go first.
Okay. I will just take Saquon again.
Okay.
Why wouldn't Saquon have just as good of a season? Same the offensive line's back. He seems healthy, I guess. A lot of people, there's a stat, I don't have it right in front of me. I forget what it is, but it's like It's related to fantasy. It's like the number one running back in fantasy the next year, like drops on average a certain percentage. But still, he's young enough. It's the exact same team he's coming back to. It's the offensive line in front of him. They have other weapons, so teams aren't going to only stack the box against him. I don't see why Saquon Barkley doesn't have another huge season.
It's very rarely quarterbacks anymore. I looked it up. The last time a quarterback won was 2018.
It has turned into the MVPs, the quarterback and offensive player of the year is the best non-quarterback.
Because Patrick won it in 2018. That's the last quarterback to win offensive player of the year. So I was considering going like Lamar or Josh Allen or even Patrick or Joe Burrow, like if they don't win MVP, but it feels like that's no longer what they do.
And the odds list reflects that. Like there's no the top quarterback is at 50-1.
I'll go Jamar Chase.
Yep.
I'll go Jamar Chase.
That's big of you to pick a Bengal.
I know. I'm a nice guy. What can I say? I'll go Jamar, and who do I want to go with? Who is it? I'm thinking like Justin Jefferson, but I don't know if he's gonna.
You think JJ can get him the ball enough?
I don't know if he can get it. That's the issue. I don't know if he can get him the ball enough.
He is third on the odds list, but I wouldn't take that. I'm not taking JJ. Or maybe I will when it's my pick. Who knows?
I'm going to go. Man, I think I can get him later on, but I believe in him. Josh Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs? What? That's crazy, man.
I believe in him, man.
What are you talking about?
I believe in him.
You think the number 3 pick for offensive player of the year, just so you know, on the odds list, he's 60-1. I think there's like 30 guys in front of him on the odds list.
I believe in Josh Jacobs.
If he wins offensive player of the year, I'll buy you a new driver if he wins offensive player of the year.
Do it.
Or putter, your choice.
I just bought a new putter.
Okay, so driver then.
Wedges.
That's crazy. That's a wild pick. Do you have a list of players in front of you, or are you just
I'm going vibes. I'm going feel. Yeah. And I feel like Josh Jacobs is going to have another hell of a season.
You could have used your last pick on him. There's no way I would have taken Josh.
I know, but I believe in him. Okay. Sometimes you have to go with your gumption, okay?
Okay,
sure. I believe in myself. I'm not just looking at some odds lists.
But even just a list of players might be helpful. I feel like you were just blanking on other players, so you went with Josh Jacobs. Like there's so many names. Okay. I'm gonna go Bijan Robinson.
Sure.
One of the best offensive lines in the NFL, top 5 offensive line, best guard in front of him, Chris Lindstrom. Michael Penix should take some of the pressure off him. Big year for Bijan. And then I'm going to turn around on the flip side of that. I'm going to go I will go. I have issues with all the other guys near the top of the list. I will go. I have issues with all these guys. I'm going to go Brian Thomas. Jaguars.
Oh my gosh, I hate that so much. Thank you.
You don't like Brian Thomas?
No. He's a great player, but I don't believe in the Jags or like I think you are going to have to be making the playoffs to probably or at least get close to it.
Maybe they will.
Okay. All right, you take Brian Thomas. I'm going to take now this is fun. This is fun.
You're going to take James Cook.
No, I'm taking Jahmyr Gibbs.
There, see, that pick makes sense. But my issue with Jahmyr Gibbs is David Montgomery's going to steal some touches.
Yeah, I'll go Jahmyr Gibbs, and I'm going to go Puka Nacua is like the only guy now.
But then it's like, can Matt Stafford get him the ball? Is he even going to be healthy?
Yeah. I'll go Puka Nacua 4. So I have Jamar Chase, Josh Jacobs, Jahmyr Gibbs, Puka Nacua.
All right, so I got 2 more picks in you, so there's 3 more. I'll take Justin Jefferson, I guess, with the number 8 pick. I mean, he's got to be taken off the board. I'm not a JJ McCarthy guy, but if he's going to be available to me in the 4th round of this draft, I'll take Justin Jefferson, the clear second best receiver in the NFL right now. Now, do I want to go receiver? Or do I want to go running back? There's one big name on the list, but I think he's too old.
There's a couple big names on the list.
I'm going to go Christian McCaffrey wins it again.
Yeah, that was a good one.
If he's healthy, why not?
That was a good one. That was what I was thinking for 5. It's kind of the same thing, Derrick Henry and Christian McCaffrey. It's like they're older. Can you trust them to stay healthy? Derrick Henry's proven he can stay healthy more so than CMC can.
Fair enough. I mean, Derrick Henry, I was low on him going to Baltimore. I was like, too old, washed up, doesn't matter, and he was unbelievable last year. So I'm probably wrong in saying he's too old again, but I think he might be too old.
So there's a couple of interesting ones. I think CeeDee Lamb's interesting. Nico Collins is interesting. I don't think I'm going Derrick Henry. It's between Nico and CeeDee for me.
Drake London?
No chance.
Better odds than Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, but Josh Jacobs is going to.
If he's even in the conversation, that's the greatest call of all time by you.
I only need one pick.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I know who I picked. The other person's going to have a great year, and I'm going to be so disappointed in myself.
Bucky Irving?
I'll go CeeDee Lamb.
All right. No concern about George Pickens?
No, so I was thinking that, but I could also make the case that it helps.
Sure.
Like I can make the case that there's going to be more one-on-ones and fewer double coverages for CD. Like sure. I think you can make the case. And what do you know that he has a great rapport with Dak Prescott, and we know that he's going to force the ball to CD.
Yep.
Right? Nico Collins, I think, is a phenomenal wide receiver, but I almost have more injury concerns with him than anything else.
Yep. So honorable mentions, the top names on the odds list who weren't drafted: Derrick Henry, of course.
Yeah, that's
Nico Collins. Yeah, we're gonna look stupid when Derrick Henry rushed for 2,000 yards this year.
Yeah.
Amon-Ra St. Brown.
So I thought actually going back with Lions with Jameer and Amon-Ra St. Brown, I thought about going there, but I do think you're going to see a little bit more Jamison Williams this year as well.
Yep. Malik Neighbors.
Nah.
There's a name close to the top of the odds list, but almost everyone is low on this guy, which means maybe we should be buying low on him. Devon Achane.
Oh, Devon Achane in Miami.
Yep.
That seems crazy to me.
Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Washed. Drake London. Dark horse. A.J. Brown. Just too many other weapons in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
And then Jonathan Taylor, Kyron Williams, Jackson Smith and Jigba, Brock Bowers, Ashton Genty, Ladd McConkey, Bucky Irving, all with better odds, and then you have Josh Jacobs.
So I actually thought about JSN, and I thought about Ladd McConkey, because those guys are going to be reception merchants this year.
Yep.
Josh Jacobs was great last year. And if Green Bay takes a step forward record-wise, I think it's going to be a large part in due to Josh Jacobs.
Yep. Sure. Okay. I hate it, but hey, I've been wrong before, and you've been right a lot. So that's going to be the player to watch this year.
Can we have to have a bold pick. That's my bold pick.
All right. My bold pick is, even though I didn't draft him, my bold pick is Drake London. Good stuff coming out of training camp for Drake London.
Oh, good. Can't wait for the Falcons to go 7-10. Oh,
nice.
7-10 Falcons. Oh,
not a chance, dude.
What, you think 6-11?
We might go undefeated.
Wow.
It's possible.
Do you want to bet on the Falcons this year?
What?
Who has more wins, Chiefs or Falcons?
No, I'm not doing that. It's probably going to be Chiefs.
Probably. Wow.
No, Falcons are going to make the playoffs, though.
They might win 9 games and make the playoffs, so that's not really fair.
Do you want to add that bet to it that they make the playoffs?
The Panthers are buns. Saints are the worst team in football. Falcons' schedule is so easy. How about we set the over-under at 9.5? Because I could see him making the playoffs with 9 wins.
Nope. They're over-under 7.5. That'd be a terrible bet on my part if I'd bet the over 9.5.
Yeah. Okay, fine. We'll do it. They don't make the playoffs.
Okay.
What are we betting on this?
6-pack of beer.
That's it? You feel really confident, huh?
12-pack of beer.
Fine.
All right.
Okay. Falcons. This is our second bet of the year, by the way.
Yep. The other one is Chiefs under 11.5, right?
Yeah, I have over. Falcons back playoffs. Sterling has make.
Perfect. All right, there you have it. That is this week's show. Subscribe to Stacking the Box on YouTube. Rate and review the audio version of this podcast. Season's coming up quick. We only have 3 more episodes until the season starts.
Let's
go. 3 weeks from today, it'll be the night before Christmas.
Let's
as they say.
Go.
Football's back. Thank you so much for watching, listening. Talk to you next week. Goodbye.